Today I want to talk about the four types of students as recorded in the Yoga Sutras by Patanjali and distinguish for ourselves how the ideal is not the real, but still understanding what we might be aspiring to could be very helpful. First, they classify students as the dull one, the murdu student, and then the average student, the madhya student, and then the keen student, the adimatra student, and then finally the supremely enthusiastic tivra samvegan. So what this means for me is that there are some people when they first begin yoga, they're not on fire about it, and that's okay. You have to start somewhere, and it's kind of a take it or leave it attitude. You know, you get into it, and maybe if you like the teacher or the studio appeals to you, you start getting into it. But if anything intervenes between your weekly class or however often you come to class, you blow it off and it's no big deal. But then something else happens if you continue and the hook starts to get in you. You become an average student, which means you try to go once a week and you start to realize, wow, there's a benefit that I didn't realize. It's not just stretching my body, but mentally, emotionally, psychologically, and spiritually, something is different. Something is happening that I didn't realize it happens, like an extra bonus. Didn't sign up for this, but hey, really glad I'm getting this. So then you want to go to class, and you realize that when things happen that cause you to not go to class, you really feel like you're missing it. But then you get to another stage where now you're keen to go to class. You realize it's not just my body, and it's not just my mental outlook, how I feel after class. It's making me think about changing my life in a different way. I'm developing more awareness or consciousness, and therefore my perspective about myself, my relationship with other people, and all of life is now being impacted. And whether you're studying Hinduism or Buddhism per se, remember, as Haridas Baba says, you're really studying mind. And so all of a sudden your whole life now takes on a different approach to looking both inside yourself and in the mirror of relationships, because to be means to be related. So we start looking at how we deal with other people, how we treat other people, and we're much more both accepting and also intelligently critical of how other people treat us. And we usually make choices to put ourselves in an environment where things that happened in the past that weren't so good for us and didn't serve us so well, we don't do that anymore. But then you get to the stage of what's called tivra samvegan, supremely enthusiastic. It's not just that you want to practice every day, and that if things want to intervene between yourself and going to your class, you don't let them. You blow them off rather than letting them blow you off. But now it isn't just a class. Now you realize, I bought some props. I'm practicing at home. Right? I have a home practice and not just a practice I go to when I go to the yoga shala or the yoga studio. And in fact, I'm studying it. I'm reading books about it, which I never did before. I've taken a workshop, and now I'm really on fire because I realize it's a lifestyle. I want to be conscious. I want to expose myself to things I didn't realize were inside me and that I was capable of before. I want to meet new people who help me go in a direction that's more positive. I want to contribute all the gifts that I have, and so on and so forth. So it's not just a matter of, am I a hotshot yogi and can I do poses like I'm a Cirque du Soleil master? No, that's a gross literalization of how to think you're on fire. It's about realizing that I'm passionate about something, and whenever I put forth my best energy, which is the only thing that really appeases my innermost hunger, when I give it all I got, that's when I really feel blessed.